Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading. Oh, by the way, if you would like your own personal custom recorded video, I have a link to that. You will be able to ask your questions, submit it, and I will email it back to you as a private link on YouTube. I was going to call it ZooTube. But all right, Scorpio, let's see. What do you need to hear, see, feel to get your manifestations? Feel good as you get them in. It looks like in the recent past, your past energy, well, there's some anxiety. There was a spark of a new idea but it didn't come in a positive, good feeling way. And I could tell you, whatever it was that caused some anxiety, it's definitely made you anchor in on what's important to you and that what you want is worth fighting for. I don't want to say fighting for, but it looks like whatever happened in your past that was causing anxiety, it's kind of caused you to clam up a little bit and get hard and make you want to fight and defend for whatever it is you want. But anytime you clamp up energetically, that's blocking the universe from giving you your desire. Think of it this way: you're like an open hole. The universe can send you different ways for your manifestation to come in. If you tighten up, it's now shrunk a lot. And now the universe is trying to send it, there's so many ways it could go wrong. Oh, okay, one could get through. So you want to be more at a place of, no, I do want this, or this is what you're doing right now that you don't want to be doing. No, like you better do this, It's and boundaries are not you can't treat me that way. That's my boundary, so you can't do that, and I'm asserting a boundary on you. So yeah, if you're in a toxic relationship, there is a, hey, look, I don't function well when people yell at me. It makes me shut down, and you're important to me. I want to be able to hear you and have good communication. That's what a boundary should look like, because a boundary is a preference. I prefer calm, mellow voices. I prefer both people wanting to work this out. Instead of the old way would look like, you can't yell at me. I spoke to my therapist about it. That's a boundary. You need to find different words. Okay, that's just going to be fight on fight instead of, whoa, I can see that you're upset and passionate about this, and I just have to share though that I need this to be communicated in a different way because I tend to shut down when voices are raised and yelling, and I don't want to shut down because I want us to work through this together. So it's recognizing that whatever this is that was causing anxiety, it needs to, instead of clamming up and a fight defend energy, it needs to be more of a, oh my God, I now really know that I want this clarity. I now know that I want this, and then feel into how good that will feel, because that's what manifestation is. Feel the emotion and then be guided to it. Okay, so it looks like in this current moment, the current energy, you do want to more lovingly communicate. I can tell you that. You just want there to be more loving communication, more loving, uplifting, positive communication. You want good stuff to come in, and you are at a place where you want to be able to make long-term plans. You just have no idea how to do that. And it does look like it's a little bit more of a love read than a career read. So it's kind of like you are ready for that person where you're planning a future together. But it does look like right now you're just stressed, Scorpio. I don't know there's really no other way to say it. Of all the stress cards in the deck, most of them have shown up in this reading. But some of the stress is coming from you're taking on too much, you're either taking on too much work or you're not asking for help when help would be more appropriate. Um, Let me pull a clarifying card on that one. Yeah, and it looks like you really need to get to a place of recognizing when you should help someone versus when you shouldn't. Right? Obviously, if it's a little kid, you got to take care of the little kid, right? As the kid grows older, though, you can do less and less and less for them because they need to be more self-sufficient, right? It's almost as if your definition of love right now comes with sacrifice. If you love someone, you're willing to sacrifice for them. So if that's when you're saying yes to helping people, because like, oh, I see that they really need that. And since love is sacrifice, I'm gonna have to sacrifice an hour of my sleep to do that for them. I'm gonna do it for them. Like that's the big O no's now. Like instead, the soft, loving boundary communication is, oh, honey, whether it's like your love partner or a little kid, like, oh, honey, I wish I could help you. I could see why you need that help. I need you to tell me with more advance warning. I need to get to sleep tonight for my project at work tomorrow. So I want to help you. I'm so sorry that I can't right now. What I need is I need you to tell me this like 2, 3 days in advance. And if it's like a little kid, be like, honey, okay, why don't every day when you come home from school, you're gonna have to go tomorrow, you're not gonna get your homework done. We're just gonna have to take the bad grade and be sad and disappointed. But why don't we every day when you come home from school, why don't you give me whatever piece of paper school gives you so I can see it and we could plan because I do want to be helping you with your projects, right? Or if it's like an older adult, like a husband or a wife, it's like, honey, like, babe, I want to help you, but I got to get to sleep tonight. Um, how can we get this information to me sooner? Because then the person might go, oh, sorry, you needed more warning? Okay, I'll tell you. Or it might be a, baby, it'd actually be really helpful if you asked me every day when I came from home from work, hey, honey, is there anything that you're going to need my help on? Because then I could tell you, oh, yeah, in 2 days I'll need this. So it's kind of like that conversation needs to come along because like you flat out gotta stop sacrificing your sleep, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being to help others because that's what's killing your love life. That was pretty blunt. Going into the near future. Going into the near future, you definitely need rest. You're gonna need some like rest. And it was so long ago that I read this book, guys. So okay, but there's like 7 areas of happiness. And you kind of have to tend to all 7 to just be kind of typically content. And content is where you want to be in life. One of the areas is where God, I'm even forgetting the psychology term for it, but it's where you like escape your reality and enjoy a different reality. So that is like watching a movie. Like things like watching a movie, things like reading a book, things like calling a friend and listening to the drama story of their life, but you can't relate to it at all. Like sometimes like, oh, my wealthy friends, when they talk about their problems, I'll just be getting popcorn and listening because I can't relate to any of it. I get the check amounts they read. They're talking about like $10 million wire transfers. And I'm just like sitting there with popcorn going, wow, I would have never known that this is how like the wealthy, the 1% of the 1% of the 1% lived, you know? So I'm sitting there kind of like, whoa. And they're all like flustered and aggravated. Like, I just can't believe this happened to the wire. And I can't believe this happened at the bank. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry for dumping my problems on you. But I'm like, no, it's okay. I can absolutely listen to this and not get triggered at all. I can't even relate to your problem at all. So I am the best person to listen to you on this. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. I just need to get it out. Right? So it could even be that. But so just make sure if you're gonna, whatever movie you watch or whatever TV show you watch or whatever book, it's got to be something that gets you out of your head and into a different world. So like you don't want to necessarily be reading a book about American politics. You want to be reading like a fantasy book, like a fiction book, a made up book, like a little bit more kind of like creative that won't trigger anything negative in your life because you just need that like a little bit of escape. And I'm not saying forever, I'm saying like for an hour or maybe for one day. I have one set of friends that they are just like some of the most productive people I've known ever, but they do allow themselves like once or twice a month, they go, oh my God, we need a Netflix and chill day. And they turn their phones off. They pre-make their food the day before or pre-order it. And they just like in their bedroom, stay in bed all day, cuddling and eating and like only leave to go to the bathroom and get food. So, you might be the person who just needs like a little hour a day, or you need it like they need it. That's up to you to figure out. But once you get the break, you're going to realize that like you and this person just have a completely different way of getting your needs met. You guys just have a completely different view of the exact same situation. An example I can think of is, one time I had this like boyfriend or lover where he viewed it as, no, if we don't communicate all the time, it builds desire and keeps things spicy. And I'm like, no, that's actually boring. That's boring and rude, and that's not connection. He's like, no, but then I'm thinking about you, and then when I come back, I'll be devouring your body. And I'm like, well, that's how you get turned on. That's how you like viewing it. I view it as rude and this or that. So do you see how we both like had completely different ways of viewing? Like we both wanted love, connection, hot, passionate adult stuff, but the way we're going about it did not work for the other person. So the conversation would look like, okay, I totally see what you're talking about, that builds desire and that can. However, I'm not looking for just like a lover situation. I'm looking for more like connection. And I'm wondering if there's a way that we can communicate more so that I can feel like turned on and good, and you could still feel that desire. Because I know for me, if this is going to last, I need more connection and closeness with you. So that hopefully they could, well, maybe I could talk to you every morning, but then during the day I could just be at work and I have to talk to you during lunch. Yeah, that would work with me. If I got to like wake up in the morning and talk to you every day, that would help me feel connected. Okay, and then I don't have to worry about while I'm at work or at lunch. And every Wednesday I like to go have bowling league alley tournament. Yeah, that would work for me. And then they could like, now they're facing each other, solving the problem together. Um, so it's just like, it's kind of like if you do take that break, you're going to have that moment of epiphany where you're like, oh, we both are trying to get to happiness. He just thinks it comes from this way, and I think it comes from this way. Because that's when you get to experience emotional intimacy and have the conversation for how you both can feel satisfied. It will at least help you feel more confident that what you want is worthy. That because it's almost as if right now you're taking it personal. The other person didn't want to do it, so therefore it must mean I'm not worthy of it, or maybe I'm asking for too much out of a relationship. But once you have this epiphany, you're going to realize, okay, what I want is worthy and reasonable. We just have to figure out a way to get this so that we both feel satisfied. All right, Scorpio, hope this video helped you. Stay tuned. If you'd like your own personal reading, check the link for that in the comments. Love y'all and have a good week.